You hit your 40s, start feeling more confident in your style than ever, and suddenly the world starts telling you what not to wear. Why? Because fashion wasn't designed for you. And in this video, I'll show you exactly why it feels so unfair and what to do about it. Let's be honest. Fashion after 40 can feel like walking a tightrope. Wear something trendy? You're told you're trying too hard. Go for something classic? Suddenly, you're aging yourself. No matter what you wear, someone always has an opinion. And that judgment, it doesn't just come from strangers. Sometimes it's from friends, co-workers, even other women the same age. There's this constant pressure to strike a perfect balance. Stylish, but not trying too hard. Elegant, but not boring. Modern, but still age-appropriate, whatever that means. And that internal voice that starts asking questions like, is this skirt too short now? Am I dressing for myself? Or defending myself from judgment? That voice doesn't come from nowhere. It's shaped by a culture that polices women's choices as they get older, especially when it comes to how they dress. It says, don't be too loud, don't draw attention, don't dress like you're 20, but also don't look like you've given up. And suddenly, fashion doesn't feel like a form of self-expression anymore. It feels like a test, and no matter how you answer, someone will say you got it wrong. Open any fashion campaign, scroll through a trend roundup. It's like the industry genuinely believes style stops at 29. Youth isn't just celebrated, it's worshipped. But what about the women with experience, with presence, with actual taste? The ones who've developed a real sense of who they are and how they want to express it? They're not the target audience, they're called niche. Which is strange because women over 40 are the ones with the spending power, the lifestyle, and the long-term interest in fashion. They're not shopping just to chase a microtrend. They're shopping to invest, to build a wardrobe that means something. And yet, they're being ignored, not because they're not stylish, but because the industry is still stuck in this outdated fantasy that only youth is aspirational. As if aging gracefully, boldly, and with style isn't something to look up to. The result? Women over 40 don't see themselves represented in campaigns, on runways, or in influencer culture, unless they're framed as inspiring or surprising. But style after 40 shouldn't be treated like a miracle. It should be normal. It should be visible, and it should be celebrated just like youth always has been. Have you noticed how style advice shifts once you hit 40? Suddenly it's, avoid bright colors, no miniskirts, cover your arms. Why? Are my knees now offensive? Let's be real. This isn't advice. It's a quiet, polite way of saying, fade out, take up less space, don't attract attention. And the message underneath it all? Don't be loud. Don't be playful. Don't look like you're trying. But what if you like trying? What if dressing up brings you joy? What if fashion has always been a part of your identity, a creative language you've used for years? To be told, after decades of experimenting, evolving, and expressing yourself, that it's time to shrink. It doesn't feel like guidance. It feels like erasure. Because style isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling seen. And when the world starts handing you rules instead of inspiration, it's not helping you age with grace. It's trying to age you out of the conversation. George Clooney gets better with age. But when a woman dares to show a wrinkle, suddenly she's brave. Why do magazine headlines still say, stunts at 50? I mean, thank you, but also why is that even surprising? Style isn't supposed to expire, and yet the media still treats an older stylish woman like some rare exotic animal. Not because we don't exist, but because the lens is biased. A man ages and he's seen as distinguished. A woman ages and she's surviving the aging process. If she looks good, that is. You rarely see headlines like, "Brad Pitt defies age at 60. But women, if they wear something bold, show their legs, wear their hair long, it's framed like an act of rebellion. And what's worse, this narrative creeps into how women talk about themselves. At my age, I can't pull that off anymore. I used to be able to wear that." But where did those thoughts come from? Let's talk visibility. Scroll through your favorite fashion brands. Where are the women over 40? Not the token appearance, not the silver-haired model they use once a year for a diversity campaign. I mean real representation of real stylish modern women with stories, confidence, and presence. You don't see it often, do you? Even on social media, it's harder for older influencers to break through. And it's not because they're less stylish, not because they're less creative, but because the industry and the algorithm treat them like they've already peaked. And that mindset trickles down. If you don't see people like you in campaigns, on magazine covers, or getting the brand deals, you start to wonder if you even belong in the conversation. This isn't just a fashion problem, it's a visibility problem. It's a signal, a message saying, style is for the young, everyone else, you're lucky to be here. But the truth? Women over 40 are leading careers, raising families, reinventing themselves, building wealth, shaping culture, and yes, looking amazing while doing it. So why are we still acting like that's surprising? Representation isn't about checking a box, it's about showing what's already real. And the fact that we're not seeing it enough, that's not just unfair, that's a massive missed opportunity. Here's the irony. We're told, avoid trends, skip fast fashion, buy timeless, invest in quality. And in theory, that sounds smart, but in reality, timeless often means expensive. A 500 euro wool coat, a 700 euro forever handbag, and most so-called investment pieces are designed for thin, tall 20-somethings, not for women with real lives and real bodies. Even the idea of a neutral capsule wardrobe, the beige blazers, the perfect silk shirt, the tailored pants, is often presented as effortless. But it's not effortless when you're spending hours hunting for pieces that fit, that flatter, and that don't cost half a paycheck. Because when you're balancing work, life, maybe family, maybe hormonal shifts, dropping hundreds on a blazer that doesn't even fit your curves right isn't empowering. It's exhausting. And that's the part no one talks about. It's not that women over 40 don't want elegance. It's not that they don't want to invest. It's that the system wasn't designed with them in mind. So the very advice that's supposed to make getting dressed easier, just buy quality, just keep it timeless, feels out of reach because timeless style is beautiful. But the price we're expected to pay for it, that's not always realistic, and it shouldn't be the barrier to feeling stylish and seen. Here's what I've learned, and maybe you feel this too. Style after 40 is not about chasing trends. It's not about proving you've still got it. It's not about shrinking yourself to fit someone else's idea of appropriate. It's about clarity. It's about intention. And more than anything, it's about joy. Because when you've lived, when you've evolved, when you know who you are, your style should feel like a celebration of that, not a compromise. Whether that means leopard print and bold lipstick or soft neutrals and a great pair of jeans, you get to decide. Not society, not algorithms, not marketing campaigns trying to sell you youth in a bottle. And here's the most freeing part. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to be validated to be visible. You just have to take up space, unapologetically, stylishly, and in your own way. So maybe the problem isn't that fashion gets harder after 40? Maybe it's that we've outgrown the game. And now we're ready to make our own rules. Let's stop trying to fit into a system that was never built for us, and start shaping one that finally reflects who we really are. You are not too old, you're just too powerful for a system that still hasn't caught up. So tell me, have you felt this unfairness too? Drop it in the comments, let it out, because honestly, I think it's time we stop apologizing for being stylish and start calling out the nonsense. And if you want to follow up where I show how to find that sweet spot between confidence and comfort, say the word. I've got outfits, tricks, and stories that might just make you fall in love with fashion again.